Hello students, happy Monday to you. Today we are transitioning from plants to animals. And so on Friday we had a choice activity, just kind of fun way to transition over to animals. But before we do and talk about animals, I want to really kind of look at the cellular level of plants versus animals because that's really what makes the difference there is what is going on in the cells. So we haven't talked a whole lot about cells. So this PowerPoint today is just going to introduce what cells are, cell organelles, and main difference between plants and animal cells. So if you are printing or taking notes in your notebook, I have attached some notes that you can take along with me today. So what are cells? Okay, cells are the smallest unit of living things that can carry out the basic processes of life. And these we consider our building blocks of life. And every organism is made up of tiny building blocks we call cells. So we have different types of organisms, but we have to remember kind of like what it means to be a living thing. So if you're a living thing, you grow, you reproduce, you respond to any kind of stimuli, and you need energy for fuel. So we have two types of organisms, unicellular and multicellular. A unicellular organism is made of a single cell that carries out all processes of life. And a multicellular, much like ourselves, are made up of more than one cell. Inside the cell, we have the cell is made up of organelles. Okay, these organelles are just structures within the cell that helps to perform all those day-to-day lives. So our body has over 200 different types of cells that are specialized in doing certain work. But in all of those cells, they have major organelles that no matter what type of cell you are, you'll still have these organelles. So animal cells, you have the nucleus, it's the brain of the cell. That's where our DNA is located. You have mitochondria, the powerhouse, the vacuoles, which is the storage. Okay, and if you notice on this list here, okay, plant cell organelles have all the same except for this chloroplast. So this chloroplast we mentioned slightly when we talked about plants. That's where photosynthesis occurs in the cell. So let's first start with animal cells. Animal cells are surrounded by a thin, flexible covering called a cell membrane. Okay, so this is kind of like the fencing of the cell. It allows food, water, and gases to enter and exit the cell as well as waste exits the cell. And it really kind of holds it together. Okay, so if this were a balloon, it would kind of be the outside rubbery substance that holds it together, but it can still have things come in and out of it. Another main component of a cell is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance that is inside the cell surrounding all of the organelles. So it kind of floats like it's jello. The nucleus of the cell is the control center. It is a large round organelle. This is where all of our DNA is stored. And the nucleus sends signals to the rest of the cell. And you'll see it normally in the center. So this is like the brain of the cell. Here you have a mitochondria. Mitochondria are a large peanut-shaped. You'll usually see it with these folds in it. So those are important. The mitochondria creates energy, and cells that require a lot of energy, like muscle cells, are going to have more mitochondria in them. You'll have a vacuole. This vacuole you'll have also in plant cells, but in plant cells, this vacuole is going to be a lot bigger. So that's one main importance of the difference between plant and animal cells is the size of the vacuole, but the vacuole is just basically the storage. Okay, I kind of think of it as like the vacuum. The vacuum sucks everything up when you're vacuuming your carpet, and that's kind of what this vacuole does as well. It can store water, food, and waste for the cell. And in plant cells, they get really big. There it is. Okay, here's that big, huge vacuole for storing water, because a lot of plants are adapted for water storage. So the plant cells have many of the same structures and organelles with a few key differences. Okay, so one is the shape. Okay, plant cells are going to be a little bit more boxy, more rectangular. It's going to have that huge vacuole. So you can see that whenever you look at some of these. Plant cells also have a cell wall. They still have a cell membrane, but the cell wall is a stiffer structure outside of the cell membrane. So this is what gives a plant structure and extra strength. So that cell wall is just added protection where we have like our skin that helps protect the plant. These cell walls are important in protecting the plant cells. Inside, and this is one of the major differences, aside from the shape of the cell, the vacuole, and the cell wall, is chloroplast. We talked about chloroplasts when we talked about photosynthesis. These chloroplasts are where photosynthesis occurs. Okay, it is filled with a chemical called chlorophyll that is green, and that's what gives plants their green color. So the chloroplast is where that the energy from the sun is changed into food or sugars for the plant through the process of photosynthesis. Here's that vacuole, like I told you. Okay, plants have one large central vacuole. A vacuole stores water, and so this helps them from drying out. So if you ever see a plant that looks wilted, their vacuoles are going to be very small. So, and just a little bit more on how cells are organized. We talked a little bit about this when we started ecology, but we kind of stuck to the other end of the diagram. So here, how are cells organized? When we have multicellular organisms, they contain different types of cells that have very specific functions. So we have muscle cells, red blood cells, brain cells, skin cells. So different types of cells do different types of things. When you have cells come together, okay, here's a single cell coming together with other cells, it's going to form a tissue. And a tissue can have a specific function. A tissue can come together to make an organ, such as a heart or lung, brain, skin, or your stomach. So it starts with a single cell, gets together, creates a tissue, and an organ together create organ systems that keep us alive. So here's that picture of the organ system. Okay, for example, the circulatory system includes the heart, blood, and blood vessels.